Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Today we will inshallah continue with Surah Al-Humaza. We left off with the last ayats of this surah. Ayat 6 I will start from today. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما أدراك ما الحطمة. And what should make thee know what the crushing punishment is? Et qu'est-ce qui te ferait savoir ce qu'est al-hutama? और तुझे क्या बताए कि hutama क्या है? So we went through the previous ayats which were talking in this surah about how those people who go around slandering and uh, how they will be punished, and the punishment here in this verse it's speaking about, and then the description comes after. So the first word is wa. In English it's and, in français et, Urdu में or, ma what, and en français qu'est-ce qui, en Urdu में क्या. Adra is make known. Faire savoir en français, en Urdu में बताए. And ka is you, tu, te, tujhe en Urdu में tujhe. Ma is what en français qu'est-ce qui. Again, we just went through this, and in Urdu kya. Al-Hutama. So here, Hutama has been uh, just explained here in the breakdown, but it's actually crushing punishment, and we went through that it means particles, something that is crushed into very, very tiny, small particles. And in French, the translation of this word in French would be punition écrasante, and Urdu में Uttama. Narullahil Muqada. So here now the description of what that Uttama is. Sorry, yeah, Uttama. What what that is. Narullahil Muqada. It is Allah's kindled fire. C'est le feu d'Allah sous forme de combustible stocké. वो अल्लाह की वो अल्लाह की आग है बड़ा भड़काई हुई. So the first word here is nar or naru. This is fire in English, and feu en français, and Urdu में आग. And the same word Allah is, we don't translate the word Allah, it stays the same in all languages. And al-muqada here is this is translated. This word is translated in English as kindled, and en français combustible stocké. Urdu में भड़काई. التي تطلع التي تطلع على الأفئدة, which rises over the hearts, qui monte sur les cours, jo dilon per lapke, lapke di. So the first word is alati, which this is translated as which in English, and qui en français, and jo in Urdu. Tot, tot, تطالع, تطالع. So this word is in English is leaps, and en français is monte. And Urdu में labte gi. Ala is at, and in French it's sur, and upper is in Urdu. Al-afida is hearts, en français pour, dilon Urdu में. Here, there is a comment that Hazrat Muslim anhu gave, that there could be no greater humiliation or agony for a person than that he should see that the cause against which he had fought tooth and nail, and which he had tried with might and main to crush, is progressing and prospering before his very eyes. It is this sense of burning and anguish of the heart which the leaders of the Quraysh felt when they saw the tender plant of Islam growing into a big tree. So here is a description Hazrat Muslim anhu is giving of this type of punishment, which is in the sense of the jealousy which the Quraysh, the enemies of the first followers of Islam, that they had against them. إنها عليهم مؤصدة. It will be closed in on them. Sûrement il sera fermé sur eux. यकीनन वो उनके खिलाफ बंद रखे गई है, बंद रखी गई है. So the first word here is inna. This is a repetition word. We keep going through this. It's surely in English, and sûrement en français, yakinan Urdu में. Ha is it, and il en français, and vo in Urdu. Alay is on, sur en français, in Urdu में ऊपर. Him is them, or u, or unke. Mu'sada, this word in English is enclosed. So the thing which is enclosing upon them, that they're discussing that punishment, or that hukama is enclosing upon them. Français, fermé, sera fermé. Urdu में बंद रखी गई. बंद रखी गई. Okay. Here there's a very short commentary. Hazrat Muslim says that if fire is enclosed on all sides, its effects become more intense. So the description of that hutama is as though it's engulfing those who are in its way, in its path of destruction, in which we mentioned about what the commentary what Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabi gave, and inshallah I'll do that after this, which because the full description of this khutama is laid out in these last verses. في في عمد ممددة, in the form of extended columns, en colonnes étendues. ऐसे ऐसे सतूनों में जो खींचकर लंबे के लंबे किए गए हैं. So here the first word we have is fi. This is a repetition word as well. In is in English and en français. Mais Urdu में amadin is columns. En français colon. Urdu में saton. Mumaddada, this is extended, means extended, and français étendu. उर्दू में लंबे किए गए. So here, this ends the surah. Hazrat Muslim Maud says that the verse may mean that one disbelievers may be bound down to all columns when the fire will burn them, i.e. they will be quite helpless and will find no escape or refuge from divine punishment. Number two, they will burn in a furnace of which the columns will be very tall. This again is a metaphor pointing to the severity of the punishment of hell. The tall columns may also signify evil customs and usages of disbelievers. These bad customs and traditions will take the form of tall columns in the next life. So I wanted to, because the uh, um, I was explaining that these verses they have in my last explanation of them yesterday was that they were talking about the nuclear holocaust, and Hazrat Khalifa Masih Rabi has Rahimullah has explained them, and here he gives and I read some portions of his commentary on this surah. So I would like to continue on that because he's giving a more detailed description of those words that we just went through. And he says that the declaration that the time would come when man would be cast into the smallest particle, that is the which we were talking about al-Qutama. It contains a type of fire which is kept confined in some tiny vessels, which could appear like extended columns. This is fascinating. The word, how the word has been explained as with these extended columns, and he says that the casting of man into this minute particle does not mean that a single man will be cast into it. Man is mentioned as a generic name, and the casting indicates his subjugation to that affliction to which he will be doomed. This has only become conceivable in the contemporary age when man has discovered the secret of the atoms and the immense stores of energy which they contain. This is this is the age when the fire contained in the smallest particles leaps out and engulfs large areas extending to the thousands of square miles. Everything that lies within its range is engulfed. So we understood and we learned that word uh, mu'sada, mu'sada. So that that was engulfing everyone from all sides, surrounding everyone, man and all. This is what we're saying here. Hence, what seems to so unrealistic 1400 years ago has become a commonplace reality which every young child can understand. And then he explains a little further down that the turning to the issue of how this fire could leap directly upon the hearts, the scientific description is given below. At the instant of explosion, large quantities of gamma rays, neutrons, and X rays are immediately released. The X rays raise the temperature immediately to meteoric heights, creating a great ball of fire, rising rapidly, riding the extremely hot atomic blast. This is the canopy of fire, like a huge mushroom which is seen from far and wide. The X-rays also travel sideways in all directions along with the neutrons, causing immense heat which burns everything on its way. The speed at which this heat front moves is many times the speed of sound, which also creates shock waves. But much faster and more penetrating than this are the gamma rays, which outpace the heat front by leaping forward at the speed of light. They are so immensely vibrant that by the sheer force of their vibration, they strike the hearts dead. So death is not caused by the intense heat generated by X-rays. It is the tremendous energy of the gamma rays which inflicts instantaneous death. This is exactly how the Quran describes it. So the here Hazur gave a description of that, which happened by the atomic bomb, how it leaps on the hearts and kills heart, and the heat doesn't come, but it is the gamma rays that come to kill the heart before. So now we'll go to um, the next surah, which is Surah Al-Fil 105. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان. Just a minute, I'm just trying to get the presentation on the screen is a little bit problem here. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sorry, there was some problem there with screen sharing. Uh, Now we got it going again. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول. Here in the introduction, Hazrat Muslim Anhu has said that as its subject matter shows the surah is among the earliest surahs revealed at Mecca, the title of the surah is taken from the expression Asabi Kaf, Asabil Fil, the followers of the elephant, occurring in the first verse. Abraha's army being so called because of one or more elephants with them. The surah refers to the invasion of Mecca by Abraha Ashram, the viceroy of in Yemen of the Christian king of Abyssinia, who came with the object of destroying the Kaaba. Dhu Nuwas, the Jewish Himyar ruler of Yemen, had put 20,000 Christians to death in cold blood. The Caesar of Rome had ordered the Negus, king of Abyssinia, which then formed part of the Roman Empire, to avenge this cruel act of Dhu Nuwas. The Negus sent Abraha to Yemen. He defeated the Himyar ruler, and Yemen became part of the Abyssinian dominion, and Abraha was appointed its viceroy. In order to curry favor with the Negus and to break the unity of the Arabs, or as tradition goes, to stem the apprehended tide of Arab nationalism under a great prophet whose appearance was eagerly awaited and was expected to take place very soon, and in order also to divert the attention of the Arabs from the Kaaba and to preach and disseminate Christianity in Arabia, Abraha built a church at Sana'a, the capital of Yemen. When, however, he failed to cajole or intimidate the Arabs into accepting the church of Sana'a in place of the Kaaba as their central place of worship, he was stung with rage, and being intoxicated with this great military power, he marched on Mecca with an army of 20,000 strong in order to raze the Kaaba to the ground. Arriving at a place a few miles from Mecca, he sent for the leaders of the Quraysh in order to negotiate with them about the fate of the Kaaba. The Quraysh deputation, led by the venerable Abdul Muttalib, grandfather of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, met Abraha, who treated Abdul Muttalib with great honor. So this is a little bit lengthy commentary. We will continue that in the next week. Um, we I would just like to say here that this is very important, all of these, to understand the words and their meanings with their correct context of what and why Allah has revealed these surahs with these particular words and the descriptions of the things that are taking place, because the time that we are going through now, as Surah Al-Fil is this talking about that time when the Christians came to destroy the Kaaba. or to conquer, the Kaaba with Christianity and divert all the Arabs away from the purpose of bringing Islam, which is a repetition of what I just said. But this is very important. Why? Because not it's something of the past. It's something that is now we're faced with. That is the reconquest of this came through the age of the Crusades, and we are also in that latter days or latter campaign of the Crusades, which was started with the Gulf War in the early 1990s. Because Hazrat Khalifa Masih Rabi Rahimahullah said that this was their goal and aim, that they would capture all of Arabia and capture Mecca as well and destroy it. So it's very important that we understand that how Allah stopped the Christians from coming and attacking and overpowering the Kaaba in the past, and now in the future we have seen it, and in the Islamic history as well we have seen it. So with that, I will end today. Inshallah, we will start with going into the next week. Inshallah. Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum.